Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON-TV Channel 9 and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and the Richmond Raceway. Now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, and Dawson Rule.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, Dawson Rule here with you on a Monday night, and a Monday night with high school basketball now officially underway. Games in the area tonight. A big one, 5 minutes down the road, Madison Central and Pulaski County girls. We are going to kind of preview the seasons for these teams. We'll hear from some of the coaches and kind of look ahead to what the season might offer. Last year, Dawson, there was a lot of really good basketball played from all of our teams. We lost some very good players. We look, Jalen Davis is now gone. Brett Urslin's a kid we all like to see. Robbie Todd's gone on the boys' side. On the girls' side, pretty much all the talent coming back for the big teams. Some transfers in the district as well. That'll be something we can talk about. Injuries, something we can talk about as well. But it's kind of interesting to see kind of the movement with graduation, transfers, and what we're going to see as we go into the season.
Yeah, lots of different people, like you said, have either graduated or decided to move schools and county or go different places where they fit best and can get more playing time and on their end, hopefully more wins as well.
Yeah, Samantha, last year we look at some of the really good players that we have coming back. Bailey Hensley's a name that comes to mind. She'll be in a new place. Jay Rose coming back for Madison Southern. I'm excited to see Hadley French, a young player that is still around. On the Berea side, they bring back Sophie Brewer and Maddie King, girls that and Abigail Beard that I feel like have been around for 10 years. They're still playing. The Campbell twins, I'm excited to see them with Strader take that next step. Can they finally put it all together with that young team they've kind of been grooming to build towards something special there. So
doesn't it make you excited about basketball season?
Well, just seeing some of the players, how they've improved in the offseason.
Right. It's going to be a fun season, I think, for all of our girls and boys. Some is going to a little bit unknown, like Madison Central boys. We don't really – I'm excited to see how they pull out this season. Yeah. There's a lot of hype. I think it could happen. But really, the big hype is Madison Southern boys.
Saw them ranked top 25, I think, in the Lexington Herald Leader poll. And it's hard for, I think, some of those Louisville media to see a lot of Madison Southern, but the Lexington folks, Jared Peck does a really good job of covering basketball here in the Central Kentucky area. So I think he knows how good Southern could be, new head coach. So there's kind of even a what-if there with a new coach, bringing back, some of those big
coaches.
Three, the big three with Nobby as well. Hudson Twins and Jay Rose. I think that'll be interesting to see. But let's start things off. Let's talk about the Berea teams, the Lady Pirates and the Pirates. Eric Fields entering another year as the head coach on the boys' side. On the girls' side, we see Damian Stepp, who has had a ton of success with this program. Last year, and I feel like even in years past, Berea's girls' team, they've had some expectations. Injuries obviously have been an issue over the last couple of years. Depth. Last year they lost maybe their one player they're going to rely on most. Chestney Lovins, transferring right before the season started, was not able to play any basketball last season. So that was something that affected them last year. But I think still a lot of talent coming back for the Lady Pirates basketball team.
And this is kind of their big year they're looking forward to. Lots of seniors, lots of talent that has lots of varsity minutes too. Yeah. And they kind of feel like, man, it's going to be a young team, young bunch for a couple years after this one. So this is the year to go get it all for the districts.
And they could be playing for their 6th straight 11th Region All-A Classic title.
Yeah, and that's one thing. You and I have interviewed Coach Stepp, I feel like 100 times. Yeah. He's always locked in. He's always zoned in. He always does good job of, building up the girls. And, I feel like with Berea – these girls have been around for such a long time. I feel like we've been covering them for a long time because
you've watched them grow up.
Well, because at Berea, you don't have a huge pool to pull from of players. So Maddie King and Sophie Brewer and Abigail Beard, they've all been getting varsity minutes for 2 or 3 or 4 years, maybe even. So they've been around for a while. They're experienced, and those 3 players are going to be very important for this team if they want to be able to do that, win another 11th Region All Classic championship.
And I feel like they need to be a little deeper.
Yes, and that was one thing that Coach Stepp talked about when we spoke with him. So let's hear from Coach Damian Stepp. Copeland, if you're ready to play that interview with Coach Stepp, the head coach of the Lady Pirates, and we'll talk about the boys team when we come back following this interview with the Lady Pirates head basketball coach. Here at Damian Stepp, the head coach of the Berea girls basketball team. And, Coach, another season is up on us, and I know for you and your team, excited to get back out there and get the season going.
Yeah, definitely excited. We talked earlier, it kind of seems like it's kind of snuck up on us here this year. We all know the time and days that we start. We're allowed to start, but I don't know. This year just seems like it's been a little bit on the quick side. The whole year football season kind of came and gone, and here we are late in the playoffs, football, and basketball's right up on us. So, we're ready to get going.
For your team, you bring back some very important pieces that last year played well and got some valuable experience. And, of course, you all continue to do what Berea girls basketball does. You've had some very successful years there. But for this season, what do you think that you are most excited about getting those girls back out there and getting this season started?
Yeah, I think that probably the most exciting is the fact that, we have some seasoned players ready to take the hardwood again this year. I think that there's a lot of names and faces there that's kind of been with our program so long that people have to be kind of feeling like, when is that one going to be done? When are they going to graduate? But, the kids that we have this season are, holdovers from I got a couple from COVID, so I say they're kind of fifth-year seniors. So we've got those guys, and that's kind of give some of them, an extra year, which is nice if you're the coach. But those guys have, they have been with us for so long and contributed kind of for so long that I've kind of grown accustomed to having them out there. I will say that last year we had kind of mixed success, especially early, and having what I would say certainly a shorter bench. Kind of was a learning curve for us, and maybe none less than the coaching staff. We had to figure out that when you get 5 or 6 that are playing the majority of your minutes, you just can't do it the way that you've previously done it. Yeah. And so, we've kind of had to figure that out.
Well, we talked about that. This year, when we talked about the players that you will have, how does that depth look this year, especially early on when you might have a couple of younger players that don't have the experience that your starters do?
Yeah, I think that we've got enough experience on the floor that it might it might actually be a benefit because it's important for guys to understand that they're going to have to kind of figure things out. And I'm talking about the younger ones. But being able to figure it out with some seasoned players on the floor is definitely definitely an advantage. I go back to 5 years ago. We had had groups of 7th and 8th graders on the floor with nobody to kind of look to. So I think it's different. And it gives these guys who have a lot of experience the opportunity to kind of take the helm and get out there and run with it. And I think sometimes we give too much credit to having 6 or 7 out there who can score. Because now everybody's trying to score, and so I think that people and those guys coming off the bench included, they're pretty much going to know where the ball's got to go. They know who's going to have to get those looks early, and they're going to have the ability, I think, the younger guys to kind of settle in and learn, even if on the run. While kind of deferring to these seniors that we've got here.
When you look at the success you've had, obviously all A Classic Region Championships, you've had a numerous amount of those, continuing to just bring those championships home. When you look at the goals for the team this year, what are those goals? And, I think when you look at, the district as a whole, Central and Southern got some moving parts as well. So I feel like with you entering that mix, it's kind of a three-headed race in the district.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly say that we're kind of more of the underdog in that group. I think Central's been building this group for quite some time, and I know what that's like. And I'm sure that they're stepping out here, anticipating that they are the favorites, and they're going to kind of have that, until somebody proves otherwise. Southern has, I think a similar situation in that they've got kids with a lot of experience, but they've got some holes to fill. I would say they probably have greater numbers to fill those holes with, just, from the standpoint of being a bigger school. But, I certainly don't think that, anybody, who has knowledge of the district, would kind of count us out. I think at this point, there's just too much, in these returners, there's just too much experience there to look past Berea. We've been pretty successful within the district, regular season in particular, and we've held our own within the region, and really did the same last year with the same core of kids. So we're definitely not 10 deep, like we've had the opportunity to be in the past. But I mean, I feel pretty good about where we're at, and as the season unfolds, we'll kind of see how things evolve.
All right, Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Good luck to you and the Lady Pirates this season.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
The Lady Pirates from Berea will open up their season tomorrow at home versus Barberville, and then they'll play Paris at home on Thursday. An exciting season again for Berea, as they kind of had those same expectations as they've had in years past. Looking for some more depth. It might take a little bit for them younger players to experience that, but he's excited about his basketball team, as he should be. He talked about that underdog role, Dawson. I feel like when you're modeling Berea in the same district as the Southern and Central, that's kind of always the case. You're the smaller schools. Yeah.
And those girls know it. They've known it since they've been there. They know, honestly, it's going to be a long shot for them to win the district. As good as a team they are, it's just because they don't play a hard enough schedule sometimes. They're playing smaller schools. Doesn't mean they can't dominate them, but once they get the bigger competition, it's just a different game. They may win, they may lose. They can do either, but it's not a guarantee like a bigger school playing a smaller school usually would be.
Well, and we've seen Central and Southern lose to just last year. Berea beat Southern in the regular season.
Yep.
But sometimes in the postseason, the coaching gets a little bit more difficult. Sometimes you might pull a string that you didn't pull in the regular season, and you
get a little more experience with some of those players.
Also talked to Eric Fields. Couldn't do an interview with Coach Fields, but I asked him some of those same questions. I asked him what the goals were for the boys' team. He said, I believe the goals for us is to grow and be better versions of ourselves than what we were last year. Obviously, the biggest goal in Kentucky is to get to the state tournament, so I think that's the goal for us. At the end of the day, for us, we also have the All-A, which is something that we want to perform better in this year. At the end of the day, we want to make our kids outstanding citizens in the community and to prepare them for a life after high school and basketball. I also asked him what would be a key for Berea's boys team to have a successful year this year. And he used a big word. I love this word, too. So we have a plethora of young guys back that are still very young. Those guys play a lot of AAU ball together and get in the gym when they are able to. I look for big things from Jack, Finn, Tommy. This year we are lucky to have Nick Ballou back on the squad this season after he set out last year. We also have a lot of sophomores and juniors that should be able to contribute at various times. And he said he thinks the biggest key that we have to focus on is just working together as a team and putting together everything that we can. Everyone has to learn their roles and how they can best contribute to the team. He's also very excited. I think everybody is. It's basketball season. This is what Kentucky is known for.
That's right.
And we are now making our way towards the Sweet 16. It all gets started tonight, high school basketball in the area. We got more teams to cover as well. Central, Southern, Model, a lot to talk about as we go throughout the show tonight.
Yeah, it was nice to hear him say that because I remember last year they had a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing. So obviously those kids have moved up.
Yep.
They've got a lot of varsity experience. It's just they only won the 9 games last season. They've got these smaller schools, we'll keep saying it, have to get some more depth to them, which is challenging. So,
I think Berea has a chance to be deep because they've got a lot of young players.
Younger,
but it's just inexperienced young players.
And we knew that last year, and we still saw them win some key games. They did that one against Wellspring. I think it went to overtime. You and I did that one. That was a fun game, and we saw they had tons of good shooters and all that. And one more year of experience, Berea could be upset. Team this year.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
We'll step aside and come back. When we come back, Madison Central, the girls playing tonight. Boys play tomorrow at home as well. We'll look ahead to their seasons when we come back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
A historic milestone has been achieved in Madison County and the United States of America. On July 7th, 2023, the Bluegrass Chemical Agent Destruction Pilot Plant destroyed the last of the remaining chemical weapons stockpile at the Bluegrass Army Depot. Celebrate this history-making event by watching the special presentation that tells the remarkable story nearly 40 years in the making. Available in 4 viewings on WBON-TV Channel 9. Brought to you by Bechtel Parsons Bluegrass.
We are back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. If you all could hear some of the stuff that Samantha says to me in the commercial break, you'd feel bad for me because she's very mean.
Some of the conversations
I know,
we have
she
in
yells
general.
at
No,
me.
last week I was spot on. Like, I guess maybe I'd had too much energy drink. I don't know. But tonight it's you with all the one-liners.
Yeah, that's you. That's me most of the time. Though. I tell you what, though. Look at this guy in the blue sweater. Isn't he handsome?
He's ready for UK's big game tomorrow night.
Cats, baby.
Yeah. How about Kentucky beating Louisville Saturday? I know it's kind of off topic.
If
But
I was a betting person, I would not have. I really thought Louisville was going to
you know
win.
what? If I was a betting person, I probably would have been the same
You
way.
are a betting person.
It
was that return that changed the whole momentum of that game.
Well, we got high school basketball we've been talking about tonight. Big game here in Richmond. Madison Central girls taking on Pulaski County. That's a 7:30 start. So if you're watching the show, still plenty of time to get out there and support the Lady Indians. We are going to be there for their game on the 6th versus Henry Clay, a big 11th region matchup. We're going to be out there for a lot of games. I know the first 2 games that we'll see Madison Central girls will be that game versus Henry Clay, and then on the 14th, they play Madison Southern, which is always a big game. I love the early test. And it'll be kind of interesting because in that game there will be no Bailey Hensley for Southern. Later on in the year, I think maybe late December, January sometime, she'll be back in the fold for the Lady Eagles. But
and we're assuming most people know that she was at
she's
Central
transferred,
last year.
yes.
But she's
after
transferred.
we
shouldn't have
3
said.
big years, now playing for the Lady Eagles.
Leading scorer, leading rebounder.
I think she finished 2nd or 3rd in the 11th Region Player of the Year. That's how good she was. And now she takes her talents down south to play
she and
with
her sister.
Madison Southern.
Oh.
But for the Central girls, listen, we got the Campbell twins, Tiana Long, Strader, who's been a really good player for a long time, and kind of the same situation with Berea. I feel like we've been talking about these girls for so long, and I got to cover them in middle school too. They're very, very good. Losing Hensley will hurt. But you bring in Cameron Ridrikoff, who had to sit out last year.
I was waiting on you to say that name.
From Franklin County, a player that can shoot the ball, a little bit of size, can help him get up and down the floor. And I think she will kind of slide into that Bailey Hensley role where, and the Campbell twins will have to score the ball more at Dawson, and I think they can do that.
And all those players you mentioned, all juniors, they've got 2 seniors in Olivia and Eden that are pretty daggone good too. So they've got a lot of top upperclassmen this year that are going to give them a good team and good run.
Yeah, and Samantha, taking this team, they've been, I think, building toward this season.
And had a great season last year, all the way to that 11th region semifinals.
And Frederick Douglass, we were there for that game. I mean, they could not do anything wrong in that semifinal game.
Central was up early.
Yeah.
And then Frederick Douglass came back.
They're really good. And that's a team that we'll have to watch out for this year, Douglas. But I think Southern and Central both have a chance to compete for an 11th region championship. The key, I think, will be, Dawson, the defense of Madison Central. It has been that way since these girls kind of took over and have been getting those varsity minutes. They will like to press, like to get out in the open floor and run with the basketball. That'll be the same case this year.
Lots of transition, as you'll soon hear on the preview, and they're going to be small ball, like you said, Michael. So how will they do against size? That's going to be something we'll have to find out.
On the boys' side?
She's 5'9".
Yeah, she's got some size.
She's going to be 5'9".
How about on the boys' side? It's a different type of season for Alan Feldhouse Jr. He's used to all these expectations. Region championship contender. Let's get to the state tournament. Let's win 20-plus games. I don't know this year. I don't know. I don't know
no one knows
what to expect, and I think that's why Coach Feldhouse is so excited, because he can, and we know how good of a coach he is. He is a legend. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a guy that gets the best. He gets every single last drop out of every single player that gets on the floor for him. And I think that'll be the case. We'll really see it a lot this year with this young Madison Central boys team.
Thing he said was he's kind of excited to coach this team. In years he said so much talent, you may not have to teach or coach. This year he's teaching a whole lot to these guys that don't have a lot of varsity minutes. So we'll see. Obviously it'll be a long. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I think that's the saying. It'll take a while for them to get where they need to be, but come playoff time they could be pretty solid.
And he lost like 97% of his scores.
Well, you lose Jaden West,
stressful.
You lose Robbie Todd, no more Jalen Davis, who's been an all-world type player for his whole high school career. And
I keep reminding everybody, he kept up and took down the Shepherd kid when they played North Laurel.
Dominated.
Dominated. So I remind everybody that.
And then
but it is fun to keep watching him play at UK.
Parker Mullins not playing this year. Elijah still coming off the injury. So there's a lot of unknowns with this Madison Central boys basketball team. Their first game tomorrow at home versus Pulaski County. Our first broadcast for them will be next week on the 6th. They will play on the 5th. They will play GRC at home. And I'm excited. One of my best friends, John Bentley, former Estill County head coach, is now on the staff at Madison Central. I am so excited to be able to talk to him more. I actually just talked to him before we came on the air. He's excited to get the season started for Madison Central, and they again open up their year tomorrow night at home versus Pulaski County. So let's jump right in. Dawson was down there at Central last week talking to both head coaches, talking to some of the players as well. Let's preview the season for Madison Central with both the girls and boys, and as always, ladies first.
Madison Central has long time been known to be a basketball powerhouse in the 11th region, specifically on the boys' side, where Coach Alan Feldhouse has molded basketball excellence into the DNA of the school. Since he's gotten here, we've seen Madison Central always be competitive in the game, and more so recently, the girls' basketball team has gotten back to their winning ways. Taking a deeper dive into the Lady Indians team first, there is talent top to bottom, and a fresh, still somewhat new coaching staff building something great. With Scott True leading the helm of the girls, along with great assistants, the last piece of the puzzle is talented players, which the Lady Indians have. I spoke with 4 different key players and the head coach preseason. Coach True knows his team is up for the challenge of a tough schedule this season because of their experience and young talent getting varsity minutes.
Having some experience back will really help us, and I think we've seen that in practice a little bit. Some things that we're a little ahead of the game on some things that we've been able to put in. Don't have to work on it quite as much. So I'm hoping that experience helps us a lot because the schedule's brutal. We're going to play the tough schedules anybody, and hopefully we can rely on that experience. And we've got some new faces that are going to come in and help us and again benefit us, give us some more depth. Cameron Ridikoff, for one, who was ineligible last year because of transfer. She'll be playing a lot of varsity this year. Was a really good player. Had a great JV year last year for us. I think you'll see more out of Emma Kate Lawson. From Kim, you didn't see as much of that. She'll get more minutes this year and do more things for us. Got to have her size in there. Really, we're kind of short on size. We need that for her to be productive for us. And then Jordan Miles is another one. Jordan's gotten a lot better. Jordan may be the most improved player in our program over the course of the summer. So she'll give us a little bit. And then eventually I think you'll see Hayden Whitaker and you come along again with that size and help us in the post position a little bit.
True also knows his girls are going to get up and down the court this year, playing some more transition basketball with the lack of big size on the team and a stacked 11th region.
This group's done a tremendous job of establishing transition offense, and the game is changing a little bit. I think if you can score in transition more often now, that's always been true a little bit, but even more so now with the three-point shot, get down there and try to get an easy one before the defense gets set up, and that's going to be important for us being a little smaller. I think you'll see us running quite a bit more.
After hearing from Coach True, I spoke with the 2 big seniors on this team, Olivia Metcalf and Eden Carter. While each of these girls will play a big role this year, both look to improve their game and, of course, are excited for some big opponents this year.
I think the coaches that came in last year are really good, and they've completely turned around the program, and everybody is really enjoying playing, and they've been really fun. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people since we're pretty small this year, but I think we'll do some good things.
My personal thing I want to do better is improve on my jump shots and probably the way I handle the ball. I'm excited to play Southern. It's always a hype game. It's fun. It's a rival game. I love to play it.
The team has some talented upperclassmen, as I also spoke to juniors Brittany Campbell and Natea Strader, who were very excited to face off against some rivals in the 11th region and to keep improving their individual games for the benefit of the team.
Douglas, because they knocked us out last year, so I think we're excited to get back at them. The team down south, Madison Southern, it's always intense and hype, and it's just a rival.
I look to help with the rebounds since we're kind of small this year, so that's what I'm trying to work on, is just helping my team get rebounds. I want to work on my jump shot a lot better this year from the 3, so it's just to be, harder to guard and easier for my teammates to move around.
This Lady Indians bunch will be a competitive squad in this year's 11th region. Keep an eye out for them. Moving over to the boys' side, this team will be fielding a ton of fresh starting faces on the varsity roster. Coach Feldhouse, who has been at the helm of the basketball program at Central for 31 years, knows this and still scheduled a top-notch schedule for his team to compete against.
It'll be a little different. A lot of people won't recognize too many of these guys. When you lose 97% of your scoring, you're going to be calling on a lot of younger kids that really don't have much varsity experience really, other than Eli Steele. He's really the only one that's had a lot of quality varsity experience. Cody Morrison and Landon Ray, 2 juniors, played some last year at the end of the year, but after that, it's a lot of guys who don't have much experience. But it's been a great preseason. I really love the attitude. I think we've got really good kids. It's been refreshing for me. I get to do a little bit more teaching when you have this much inexperience. And I think it'll be a type of team that's really going to improve as the season goes along. Now, early, it could be ugly. It could be ugly early, though.
While there are 3 seniors on this team, really only one's gotten huge varsity minutes in the past. That isn't scaring them, though, and they are all 3, including Eli Steele, Jacob Lansaw, and Ty Thomas, are ready to hit the ground running. Not only are they ready to play, but they also want to get after a couple 11th region opponents, including an old rival.
We're young, got a lot to prove this year. Southern for sure. I feel like they're counting us out against them because they got all their guys returning, but I feel like we can prove something. It's a different role than I've had in the past. Usually I'm just one of the other guys, but this year I got to step up and be a leader in the locker room, on the court, off the court, and show guys what it's supposed to be like. Southern, they got it coming. They got it coming.
I'm about to be the size guy, the biggest guy on the court. I'm about to go over there. I'm about to play a lot more minutes than usual, It's my first real varsity opportunity, In the past, I'd come in and we're up a lot, but this is the first real experience I've gotten. Summer ball went good. Yesterday's scrimmage was good, so hopefully I can be that size guy.
The seniors sound confident, even though most folks aren't ranking the Indians high this year. They'll need to be leaders on the court, along with juniors Cody Morrison and Landon Ray, who are both taking a more expanded role on varsity this season.
Just hoping to, every time I touch the ball, get a bucket or get a teammate a bucket.
I play the point guard role, so I got to be like I got to call the plays, make sure everybody's in the right spots, just be a leader. I just want to win games, prove everybody wrong this year.
This team will have lots of change from last year's roster, but never count out a Feldhouse coached ball team, competing against the top schedule in the state of Kentucky.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
A historic milestone has been achieved in Madison County and the United States of America. On July 7th, 2023, the Bluegrass Chemical Agent Destruction Pilot Plant destroyed the last of the remaining chemical weapons stockpile at the Bluegrass Army Depot. Celebrate this history-making event by watching the special presentation that tells the remarkable story, nearly 40 years in the making. Available in 4 viewings on WBON-TV Channel 9. Brought to you by Bechtel Parsons Bluegrass.
We are back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Dawson Rule, Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins. Glad to have you along here on Monday with high school basketball season now underway. And we talked about some of the big teams. Madison Southern boys and girls. High expectations once again for both.
Yeah.
Josh Curtis has been a tremendous postseason coach. Not that he hasn't done a good job in the regular season, but I think to me you can see his true coaching paralysis, or whatever you want to call it, come out in the postseason when he just outmaneuvers, hits the right button, puts the right puzzle piece down, whatever the right phrase you want to use. He is so good in the postseason with what he has done, and you've seen it against Franklin County last couple of years. Just again, hitting the right buttons, putting in the right people in place, and I think he's got a really good staff with as well. Kent Miller on the staff. You got the former model coach, Summer Simmons back on the staff as well after she was the head coach for so long. So I think that's another reason why Southern girls, once they get Bailey Hensley back, has a chance to be really, really good.
I think they're already pretty solid, and that January, maybe February date comes around right as districts and the end of the season starts. She comes back, going to be healthy off a lot of conditioning in the off season, and during the season they could be a sleeper in the 11th region.
Ah, that's big words. I love it.
I think so. They
I
really
love
could
it.
be.
I think they're gonna go far too. I'm kind of with you, and I'm looking forward to. We have so many teams that we're really excited about, and this is one of them. And even the Hadley French, looking forward to watching her too this season.
Man.
So
She's
it's
great.
going to be a good season, a good year for them.
Yeah.
Got to keep them all healthy.
Yeah, and to me, I want to see more aggression out of Hadley French. And that may not be what Coach Curtis is telling her, but I just think Hadley is so good that she can take over games. We haven't really seen her do that at times. She kind of lets the game come to her. She's really good at getting her teammates involved, but we know how good she can be. We'll see if she takes that next step this year. Now on the boys' side, new head coach. Interesting to see a guy that has been around for a long time enters a team that has got some expectations again on the boys' side this year after kind of a disappointing season last year, Dawson.
Yeah, they had a solid year on the boys' side at Southern last year, but things just, of course, didn't end how they wanted it to in the playoffs. They played Central good both times, lost both times, but they kept it competitive. They were competitive in the 11th region, and this is now, their third coach in 3 years, and it could either really work or it could take a while for things to start snapping, but they do have the talent to win easily.
Well, one thing that I think is good for this team is a lot of these key players, the 4 guys that are going to be the key cogs and Nobby, the Hudson twins, and Rose, they've all played together for a while, so they know how to play together. Coach Wright putting his system in, I think we'll see him kind of maybe rely more on the guys in the early part of the season who know how to get things done. We'll see them bright and early tomorrow, our first game of the year basketball-wise. Dawson will join me on the call as Collins takes on Madison Southern boys basketball, and we'll get our first look at the Eagles, Samantha.
Well, and they set a school record last year, or made history based on going to that 11th region semifinals,
2 years
right?
ago.
2 years ago, that's right. So I know they got to be excited because if there was ever a team that could get them back to that, it's this year's team.
Yeah. And we'll see if they can do it. We'll start with the girls first, Josh Curtis and some of these ladies. We'll talk to Dawson, and then we'll hear from the boys as well here on our Southern preview for the upcoming basketball season.
The Madison Southern basketball programs have grown exponentially in the last couple of years on the girls' and boys' side. The girls' team and boys' teams have had their preseason media day, and the sports crew spoke on the girls' side with Ashlyn Eastep, Bailey Sparks, Hadley French, Lacey Sandlin, Olivia Wagner, Bailey Hensley, and Coach Josh Curtis. And on the boys' side, seniors Jay Rose and Braden and Zach Hudson. I want to give everyone a chance to shine who spoke with the crew. So let's begin with Coach Curtis, who spoke about the offseason his team's about to wrap up and how this young team with some new faces is meshing together.
It's been an eventful last few months. Some new faces have come along, some injuries have come along. So we've kind of dealt with a lot of different variables coming at us, but it's been productive overall. Not just new faces, but we're also mixing in a lot of young, talented players. So that's been something that we've had to work through day to day, and those growing pains of just, no matter how talented someone is, if they're young, it's still going to show. So it's been fun though. We've been pretty successful the last few years. I'd like to think we were. It's going to be a lot of new faces. We've got a core group, 3 really good contributors coming back in Hadley French and Ashlyn Eastep and Lacey Sandlin. We're going to add a really good player in Bailey Hensley here, hopefully sometime in January when she gets back. But in the meantime, there's a lot of new faces that are, 7th and 8th graders, but they can play. So it's going to be fun watching those kids play. We're going to try to get up and down the floor and use that youth to our advantage and just, speed the game up as much as we can on both ends of the floor and try to make it a lot more of a transition game versus the last couple years where we've tried to be more methodical and slow things down.
After speaking with Coach Curtis, I got a chance to speak with 6 different members of the Lady Eagles team. First, we'll hear from experienced seniors Olivia Wagner and Bailey Hensley, who are both ready to get their final high school season underway.
I'm looking forward to this, the new team we have this year, the different kind of people, the depth of our team, and just getting to have fun while we're playing.
Where we have Hadley, of course, she's a great shooter, so we can really go either way with it. We can push in transition because we do have some younger players that are taller, good post players with good skill, so we can really rim run and get in transition with that, but we can also slow it down and set something up, and Ashlyn and Hadley are both really good shooters, and of course we have Lacey, who's really good off the dribble.
Ashlyn Eastep, a multi-sport athlete, is entering her junior year. She's looking to once again step up and become a key member of the basketball team, although she considered not playing basketball this year for a little while.
Well, I wasn't actually going to play at first, and then I decided over fall break that I really wanted to play and that I really missed it, so I just started showing up to more stuff after fall break, and now I'm here. More of like a leader role. I just kind of know where everybody's supposed to be at, point guard, just try to get the ball to as many people and push it up the floor. That's just kind of my role this year.
Good thing Ashlyn decided to stick around, as she'll be a key piece to this year's team. Coach Curtis did mention how young this bunch was, and the varsity rotation this year is going to feature some special sophomores in Hadley French, Lacey Sandlin, and Bailey Sparks.
I'm really looking forward to playing with this great group of girls. I think we'll have a really good year. We have a lot to work on, but I'm definitely excited for this season. We encouraged each other. We had a lot to work on. We knew that. We lost a lot of seniors last year, so we knew we would have to work every day. We just worked and grind and knew we had to get better each and every day.
So in the off season, we really just came in every day and we figured stuff out, and we all just worked as a team together, and we're all really prepared and we're excited. My expectations as a player myself is to always be a leader and to show other kids what they can do.
I played with Richmond Heat all summer, and I'm really looking forward to getting some threes up and shooting around. I'm ready to start my season and try to really play a good varsity season. I've never got to play this much varsity, and I'm looking forward to play with my team.
As you can see, these girls are ready to get their season kicked off, but so are the boys. Seniors Jay Rose, Braden Hudson, and Zach Hudson were also in attendance at Media Day, and all 3 know the expectations the team has this year and have lofty goals for themselves and their performance as a group this season.
Fans should expect us to, get after it. We feel like we got something to prove this year, and we got the guys to do it. Me, Avery, Zach, Braden is our senior year. It's the last ride. Me specifically, I want to hit at least 2,000 points. I want to get the all-time scoring record. I think I'm 100-something off. So, if I can get that and get the all-time rebound record and just add a couple things, accolades to my thing, that'd be great.
Last year it was a pretty good season. We didn't go out. We went out not like we wanted to. This year, we returned pretty much all of our scoring. We lost Brett last year, but we got me, Zach, Jay, and Avery, the 4 seniors, and then we got a bunch of young kids coming up. So it's going to be, I'm really excited to watch them grow and see how they play, and hopefully we can get a lot of wins and make it to Rupp this year. Obviously, we got Central here. We haven't played them here since I've maybe my freshman year, but we got them. We got Great Crossing here. We got Ashland Blazer, Rockcastle. We need our rematch against Rockcastle because that didn't go our way last year. So it's going to be a really tough schedule this year, and I think it's good for us for whenever we get to the 11th region.
Season's been. It's been long, dude. Coach Wright's got us in the gym 2 hours, come lift after, trying to just gain strength. It's 3 hours every day, no matter what. If it's like agilities, no lift, we're getting after it. And even though we've got a few people out still, and when they get back, we're going to be full speed and ready to go. It's going to be a fun year. Once again, we got another really hard schedule coming up, but big expectations this year. We hope to deliver for the county and try to get us a trip to Rupp.
This Eagles bunch is ready to fly high this season on both the girls and boys side of the ball, and both groups will field excellent teams for fans to enjoy.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Going to wrap things up with the Model Patriots and the Lady Patriots here. First year head coach for the boys, Chris Evans.
Yeah, Coach Evans.
The girls' side, Scotty Sutton, taking over again his second season as the girls' coach. And you talked to Coach Evans when he was first hired. Very excited about taking over this program, and I like what Model's doing. Hiring young coaches. We saw it in baseball. We've seen it in other sports where they've hired younger coaches to kind of bring the programs up. And Scotty Sutton, an experienced coach, taking over the girls' program, a young team. I think that team really needs an experienced head coach.
There's one thing I tell you about Coach Evans, man, he's pumped to get ready for his Model Boys basketball team. He had a scrimmage the other day against Lafayette. They kept it within like 10 to 12 points, I think. And they're a good 11th region team, so Model hanging around with them. Not bad. He's got a lot of young talent, he says. And, man, he's just ready to go. It's kicking off. Tipping off, I think, tonight. Tonight or tomorrow?
Trinity Christian, yeah. Tomorrow night. Trinity Christian on the road, and then we'll be there on Thursday when they host the Wellspring Guardians team. And excited for this. I'm really excited to see Riley Millette, the sophomore, really good player. He's got some guys coming back that I think could be really important to this basketball team, Samantha. And on the girls' side, very young. Scotty Sutton, though, a coach that's been through a lot. He's seen a lot. And he's got a really good young point guard in Maya Bandari, who we saw her brother, who was so good on the boys' team for a couple of years. Now she takes over again. That point guard, Rose, played the last couple of years. We've heard about her. She will really be the need to be the key player for the girls' team to be good.
It's just good all over. I feel like she plays a bunch of sports.
Yeah, she is. And a good athlete. Her brother was the same way.
Well, they graduated 4 seniors, the girls.
Yeah,
so
and they had a couple of transfers leave, too.
Yes, a couple of transfers. So I feel like it's going to be a big change this season for them.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier today about that, and he's excited to get the season started, mainly so he can just see how these girls can play out there against other teams. They've had a couple of scrimmages. He liked what he saw. Now he's just ready to get the season started. So let's hear from Scotty Sutton, the head coach of the Lady Patriots, as they get ready to start their season this week as well. And then no interview with Chris Evans, but we will talk to him on Thursday when we are there for the game. So here's Scotty Sutton, the head coach of the model Lady Patriots.
It's gone well. You know, we were able to get a good full summer in, get a lot of games / scrimmages, work on some weaknesses, you know, individually with players. Unfortunately, we did lose a couple of players unexpectedly who have transferred. So, you know, we're thin, but we are going to end up starting 3 seniors, and I think anytime you have 3 seniors in a lineup, that certainly helps. They know the system now that they've been in it for over a year, and you know, they're more mature, and it's hopefully going to go in and pay dividends. The fact that they've, you know, been with me now for over a year, and they've been playing basketball for quite a long time. Well, it starts with Maya Bandari, you know, our point guard. She's been, you know, playing basketball, soccer. She's been a mainstay here at Model for quite a long time. Tennis, you know, she's just an all-around athlete. But I've seen a big jump in her just leading this team, physically stronger. Obviously now is going to be a leader. You know, we graduated 4 seniors, and she has stepped right in and, you know, made no bones about it that she's going to be the leader of this team. She sees the floor so well on the break. She's so far this preseason, she's been shooting the 3 extremely well. So I'm very high on her. You know, she's, you know, point guards are, you know, they have a special place in my heart because that's what I played. And I just love the way she distributes the basketball and leads this team. Riley Hunt is, you know, she came in last year. She's a junior, led us in rebounding last year. I think this year she has a chance to lead us in rebounding and scoring. Left-handed player that is so versatile. There are times when we're going to post her up, and then there are times where she might shoot to 3. And then, you know, running the break is where she could get out and get a lot of layups in that fashion because she does have good speed. Just very, you know, when she was on the floor for us last year, a lot of people don't know this. If they look at our record at 8 and 12, you know, 7 of those losses, she was out with an injury. And certainly I think, you know, that could have made the difference in some of those games. So she's just a very, very important piece for us. Then we get into the other 3. You have the 2 seniors, Claire Garner and Alana Newbill. Both have played a lot of sports here at Model, and although they didn't get a great amount of playing time last year on the varsity team, they were, you know, in practice every day. They know the system now, and they've really stepped up. I've been so proud of both of them. And then that leaves us the 5th starter, Piper Moore, who, as you know, terrific volleyball player, pitches on the softball team. You know, even just from the summer till now, I've been so proud of her. We had a scrimmage just the other night. We played Paris, who has a terrific big girl. And when we faced them in the summer, that girl dominated us. And I didn't think that we scrimmaged the day before Thanksgiving. That I wanted to instill in the program, in all of our programs, was the Class A. You know, we're a single A school, and we're focusing on that every time we play in the Class A. It's important. Whether it's, you know, we just won the boys soccer regional in Class A, and our archery team won the state championship last year in the Class A, and those are the things that we look at to start with. That's very, very important to us. We schedule, you know, a lot of single A schools, and although we may have to travel some, you know, we feel like it's better to do that than to beat your head, you know, against the wall when you're playing 6A schools. So that is our main focus. We're going to focus on, you know, the first game. I mean, I don't want to give you coach speak, but, you know, we play Sayre on Wednesday, and that's our focus right now. And then we move on to Williamstown, and that's our focus. And so for us, I know the girls set out some goals, and, you know, the seniors did anyway, and I was really proud of those goals, the aspirations to have so many wins. I'll keep that between us, but, you know, so our first goal is to get that win total. And then we want to compete in the Class A, and ironically, we're going to play Berea in the first game. So, but you're right, they do have a lot of players coming back, but our goals are amongst this team is a very aggressive win total in the teens, and to win the Class A, to win, you know, hopefully this Christmas invitation and things like that. So that's our goals. We'll look at the district tournament later on.
Gonna be a fun.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,500 and 84 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and RichmondRaceway.net. And unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.